Look at him. He's just dickered. Just dickered, boys. Son of a bitch.
Yo, yo. Class A, and macro. Not connected, not elected to participate. Bouncing down the stems will make your head hurt. Enjoy the takes. Says her whose head
Hey everybody,
hurts.
welcome back to Take a Wide. This is episode 276. It's Monday. What day is it today? Monday,
July 1st.
And again, hope you had a good weekend. It's officially summer. Summer means so much more now that we're adults and not kids, right? I don't like to get sad about getting old. We're not old, but there's a lot more responsibility these days. I find that my time gets spread pretty thin. But I'm doing my best to practice, to read, to exercise, to drink water, to sleep. Not enough fucking time, man. But enough time to get these out to you. If this is your first time to the show, I bang out some sponsors because these people are important. They help me get the show to you guys, and they believe in the show. So show them some love. Follow them on Instagram, social media, all of that. I'd appreciate it if you guys can let them know that you heard of them through here. So I'll start off. If you have a dog and you love your dog and you want to get your dog some good pet treats, Brewed Biscuits, all natural spent grain pet treats, are a sponsor, and they make a really good pet treat. They're called spent grains because what they do is they use the quote unquote spent grains that brewers will use when they're making their wort. And what they do is they use these spent grains and they cook them in a commercial kitchen, all natural ingredients, no preservatives. There's no alcohol or hops or corn or salt or sugar or additives, anything like that. It's 100% natural, and it's really good for your old dogs, puppies. Ocho loves them. They have 3 different flavors you guys can order online: peanut butter, pumpkin sweet potato, and apple cinnamon. Go check them out, twospentgrains.ca, TWO spentgrains.ca. Find them on social media, find them on Instagram, Brewed Biscuits, and order a bag for your dog. Next, we have Heartbeat Hot Sauce. If you are a fan of hot sauce, this is going to be the best hot sauce you'll ever try. They have a bunch of different types. The red habanero, I think, is their best. They have a jalapeno. They have a blueberry habanero. They now have a new pineapple one coming out. They have a heatonist lion's mane piri piri, or I think that's how you say it. If you guys haven't heard of Heartbeat Hot Sauce, it's they were on season 6 of Hot Ones. Recently, they were sharing something online where Scott Evans, the host of Hot Ones, kind of name dropped them during a NBC interview, and they're killing it, man. They're from Thunder Bay. You can find them across Canada in stores, and you can order them online. HeartbeatHotSauce.com. Try it out. It's so fucking good. I love it. Next, we have Kevin Rigo of Hefner Toyota. He's at 3121 King Street East in Kitchener. If you or your mom or your aunt or grandpa or anyone you know is looking for a car salesman, go see Rigo. He's a good friend of mine. He's an old friend of mine, and I trust this dude. I really do. He's got a good heart, one of those guys. And I think that's really important in a car salesman. I think they get a bad rep. But go see him, mention the show, and you'll get special pricing on new vehicles. If you're looking for someone to make the experience enjoyable and effortless, go see Rigo, man. Go see Kevin. You can find him on Facebook, Kevin Rigo of Hefner Toyota. Just search for that, like the page, tell him I said hi. Next, we have Ironclad Graphics. Ironclad Graphics is a silk screening shop in Kingston. They specialize in apparel printing, everything: hats, koozies, tote bags, inserts, vinyls. They did my patches, they did my pins, they did my shirts. They've been doing it for like 15 years, 10 years, long time. And they're competitive with their pricing. They do ship coast to coast. So if you're looking for someone to make your next batch of shirts or anything along those lines, go hit these guys up, ironcladgraphics.com. Dapper Beard Oil, a couple more here. DapperBeardOil.com is a beard oil company from Ottawa. My friend Andrew runs it. It's all natural ingredients, all ethically sourced. It's really good. I've used it. It isn't super intense, but it smells great. He has the gold tusk, the black tusk number 2, and then he has a scent free. He's seen press in GQ, Huffington Post, on CBC. Just a small business, but believes in the show. So order a bottle off of him if you guys can. Use promo code TAKERWIDE, free ship. Save on the shipping. Lastly, we have Wellington Brewery. They're Canada's oldest independently owned microbrewery. They craft award-winning beers in small batches using the freshest all-natural ingredients. I have been sipping on their rhubarb saison. It's really good. Their sours I was drinking on last summers are really good. I can't remember the name of them. But if you're out and about, grab a welly. So for this episode, I'm speaking to Tony. Tony is the drummer, vocalist of Shallow, North Dakota. They've recently kind of made a return to the stage after years of being gone. And he also plays with Crux of Aux. He did this. What else did he had like a one-man acoustic thing for a while. But Tony is a fucking monster drummer. It sounds weird to say it this way, but a true talent really is. Like what he pulls off and his ability and his ideas, and just a real force, I guess I could call him. But just a sweetheart of a guy too. I really appreciate him coming on to do this with me. We're going to shoot the shit, whatever. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. This is 275 with Tony.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, fucking dad talk. Like I feel like I could do a whole episode of like just dad talk for like the 5 of my friends who have kids.
Yeah. Well, there's lots to talk about, that's for sure.
There is, man. Well, and obviously I want to talk to you about Shallow and shit, but are you like, I don't know. To me, Shallow is like a cool band, like a big important band. And do you like it's your perspective on it? You're in the band. Like there's like everyone's excited about the band, and I'm so stoked I got to see it because it made more sense. I think any band makes more sense live than they do on the record. But
sure,
like I don't know. What do you think about when you think about the band?
I don't know. I mean, I never thought we'd play again. That's for sure. I mean, when that opportunity came up, I mean, it's funny because throughout the years, people have always asked, get back together, blah blah, and I'll give you $20, whatever it is. But I always thought, what's the point? We did our thing, we put our records out, and I just didn't see a point to it. I always said that if we ever got back together again, it'd have to be for a reason, like, put new songs out, put a new record out, whatever the case may be, like some sort of purpose behind it, not just to, spend all this time, relearning all the songs, play one show and say goodnight, see you in 20 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, what happened here was Dave's birthday, Dave Montour, and he asked us to play, and I was like, yeah, I was a little hesitant at first, but then when I heard 50 Watt Head was on the show, I was like, yeah, okay, for sure, I'm down. And it was a little hard at first because I haven't sang or screamed like that in like 15 years.
Fuck.
So the first month or so, my voice was shot after every practice. I couldn't even do it. And with a little bit of more practicing, it got better and better. And once the guys knew that I could do it, they just started booking a whack of shows. And put me to the test, I guess. But no, it went well. It was good. And yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I'm having fun doing it again. The shows we played so far have been good and good response. And I'm glad that a lot of people who haven't seen us, back in the day are seeing us now. And I'm hoping it's, to their expectations. It's,
Yeah.
But
it's
been a lot of years.
Yeah, well, it is. It's so many bands break up and then, they get back together for whatever reason. But like when you guys,
yeah, but see, in our case, we never really broke up though. That was the thing. Like, we never officially said like we're done. It was just kind of one of those things that at the time that we kind of went our separate ways with the band, Dan was in Cursed, and so he was doing that. Biff was starting Party Tank. I had my thing going, my own little solo thing going.
I remember that, yeah.
And yeah, so it was kind of like, I don't know. I think the focus was on more of those things, and Shallow was just kind of like, okay, we've done it for a long time. Let's just take a break and do these other things for a while and see what happens. And Shallow just kind of had a slow sleep, I guess you want to call it. I don't even know what you want to call it, but and yeah, that was it. And we just didn't really do it anymore. And
Throughout the years, like, what was the last gig before Dave's birthday?
Oh shit. I know I had this conversation with Biff. I think it was a Casbah gig that we played Hamilton. Oh no, sorry. You're talking about like right now?
No, I mean like back in the day, like before, like I don't know if you knew it was your last gig before the big sleep.
No, I had no idea. I was pretty sure it was a gig at Casbah in Hamilton, but I think Biff said it might have been something in Toronto or something. But who knows? I can't remember that far back. Man, what are you doing?
I'm supposed to do my homework on these things. I'm making everyone else pull these facts. But you didn't know it was the last thing. It was like you're saying.
No. No, we had like we just put out Mob Wheel, and we were playing a bunch of shows to support that, but nothing crazy, just shows mainly around here kind of thing, and we had other new songs that we were working on too, but
oh shit,
there was nothing really talked about as far as breaking up or nothing. It was just like I said, it was just like it just kind of happened, you know.
When I so there was like a big gap between Apparatus and Mob Wheel. What was happening with you guys? Like, what was it, like 7 years, 6 years between albums?
Could have been. I think so.
It was a while, right?
Yeah, I think Apparatus was 97, I think 98. I can't remember now. But yeah, it was a big gap. But we played a bunch of tours, and we're probably the world's laziest band as well when it comes to songwriting and whatnot. So we always took our time, and and I don't know. I guess back in the day too, when we first started playing, we used to practice like 3-4 times a week, and by the time Apparatus came out, we were probably practicing, maybe once a week, if that, so it wasn't as many jams going on. And like I said, there was other bands having, like Crux of Aux was even like, I think at that time was even starting to do stuff at that time. So, and then, so then Mob Wheel didn't even almost happen. We did our last tour. I think it was 99. We did our last tour actually without Biff.
Really? Where was he?
Yeah, we had Jamil from Kittens play bass for us. I think I'm not exactly sure. I think Biff just kind of had enough. I don't think he really wanted to do it anymore, and that tour just wasn't for him. And I guess we ended up getting. We already had the tour booked, so we ended up getting Jamil to come with us. And I don't know. I think it was just that tour. I think we all kind of realized like this is like, we can't do this anymore. It was just a lot of ridiculous things happened, But anyways, when we came back, I remember talking to Dan about it, saying, like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. But we had Mob Wheel pretty much written. The album was done. Songs were written. So I said, let's just record this record, let's put it out, and so it's out there. And so that's what we did. But we took a long time making Mob Wheel too. It wasn't like we have studio time. We got to be at the studio, do the beds today, then overdubs tomorrow, and vocals and whatever. It was like we just pretty much showed up the jam every day, and if we had a good take, we had a good take. If not, hey, come back tomorrow and make sure there's enough fluid for the smoke machine, and right there tomorrow.
Would you guys? No, you wouldn't jam with the smoke machine, would you?
Oh yeah, there was a lot of smoke machine going on. There was, it was pretty intense.
Is that at the Sonic Onion jam spaces?
Yeah. We started off in the basement there at first, and then we ended up in the 3rd floor, and it was just crazy. Is
the 3rd floor? Is that where Chore did like one of their final shows?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I was at that show with Bird Reynolds played it, and Mayor McCaw opened it up, I think.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm curious too, like with Mob Wheel, man. I remember when I moved to Southern Ontario and I went to that Chore show because I known those guys from when they used to play up Northwestern Ontario. And I remember seeing that Mob Wheel record, and I didn't buy it, but I really wish I would have. It would have been 04 is the year that it came out, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 04, 2004.
Yeah, it's one of those like, fuck me, I wish I would have bought it then. But the record's like so gnarly, and when you guys put it out, was there an emphasis on like, let's just make this soup? Because I think that's the thing that a lot of people know Mob Wheel for, is how crushing it is. Was that like an active thought, like this could be the last thing, so let's just balls out, make it sonically?
No, you know what, honestly, it was all Pearson, 100%, Sean Pearson. And like I said, it was just, like I said, we started off doing it in the basement, and then we were down there for maybe I can't remember now, maybe a month or two, and then the third floor, of course, in that giant room, we were playing in that big room they had up there, and it was I don't know, which I mean there was I remember there was mics everywhere. There was mics all over the room, you know, total Pearson style, and oh yeah, it was I don't know, it was just we never I don't think we set out to say let's make a huge record. We just said let's just put these put these songs out on tape and see what happens, and that's pretty much what it was. And then you know between Sean and Dan who did most of the mixing and whatnot, the mastering. I mean it is what it is.
Man, it is like ridiculous, that record, man. And even when I think of like a lot of all the stuff you guys put out was crushing, but there's on Apparatus. What I wrote it down. What song is it? I wrote it down. And where is this question? Oh, it's gone. It's the song you guys played in Windsor when we played with you. I believe it's with two
Apparatus.
Yeah, there's like that big noise thing, and then it in the middle of it. What the fuck is that one called? I wrote it down, and I can't find it.
The one where I'm singing and playing, where there's two basses.
No, it's fuck.
Oh, it's just noise. It's just like I was playing.
It's like weird noise, and then it goes into
I think that song's called "Replace the Herzog."
That's it.
I could be wrong.
I think that's
Is it? Okay,
I think that's it.
Okay.
Fuck me! I swear to God.
Yeah, that was again. That was we had these like riffs hanging around, and we were recording that record. We just like put that down on tape too, and just to have, and we were gonna just fuck with it later on, and that's what we did in the studio.
Just put it in.
That's all that was. Just put it in the middle of like noise shit.
Did you like? Did the whole experience make you jaded? I feel like it did, because you guys were on a label and you had videos and you toured and you like did it, you know.
Yeah, you know, not really.
No, eh?
Not really. No, I mean, I had a good time doing it. I mean, speaking for myself, I was never really into the whole business aspect of things. I've been playing with Dan and Biff since I was like 15, and I'm 43 now. But when I was, you know, starting with those guys, I had no interest in business. I had no interest of making it, or I mean, of course, everybody wants to, you know, do their thing, but I just wanted to play music and, you know, that's it really. And just play live and write music and record music. And I didn't care about the business aspect of things and money and I mean, cause there was never any money anyway, but, no, I was never jaded that we never made it. I mean, you know, I had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Even nowadays, like these shows you guys have done, like what is that like to come back and see people super stoked and get to perform again?
It is pretty cool. I mean, there was a couple of shows we played recently where I talked to some people after the show, and there was one show I can't remember where it was. Like I want to say maybe London or something, and then talking to this guy, and he was like almost in tears talking to me, like he was like almost like crying to me, like just talking about like, you know, how he always wanted to see us and he was a big fan and blah 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 and yada yada. I never thought he'd ever see us play live and whatever, and he just wouldn't let me go. He just kept like, and I kept saying, oh thank you, I appreciate it, blah blah, and one more thing, and this. And I'm like, no, I appreciate it. It's kind of, it makes me feel weird, but but in a sense, it's humbling. It's nice, and but no, it's cool. It's, you know, but I don't really see that as, I'm in the band, so I don't really see it, but I respect that. And,
yeah,
you know, it's cool.
Well, there are bands that are it comes up every now and then, where like just undeniable bands, and when like I think that first time I saw you guys would have been in Windsor, with the Sabs, and it was just that it was like fuck me. It was great because it was so loud and abrasive, and I thought like, wow, what would this have been like, you know, when you guys were in your heyday. And
yeah,
it's funny too because you guys are older, so it's like this is like old guy like fuck you music.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Yeah, just as there was a point where Dan it was feeding back, and he just went to grab a beer at the bar, and like, and it was awesome. I'm like, yes, just like this is what we are. This is what we do.
That's pretty much how it was back in the day too. Mm-hmm. I remember many times where Biff would just put his bass down and go to take a piss while we're like right in the middle of a set. But you know, whatever. That's just how we were. We didn't really care. We just kind of did what we did, and You know, I said what I said and did a lot of stupid things too on stage, but you know, just had fun. Just had a good time. And I actually remember one tour we did. We did a tour with a band called Monster Voodoo Machine,
Hmm.
and I don't know why I did this, but for the whole tour, I would speak in Portuguese between every song. And you know, and then I would talk like broken English, like, "Oh, thank you very much for coming," blah blah. And I don't know why I did it. I just did it for the whole tour. But on the way back, we played at shows by ourselves, just like random places, whatever. And I think we played in Winnipeg on the way back. And some guy came up to us after the show and said, "I thought you guys were like from Germany or something when I saw you." It's like, no, I'm just an idiot.
No, that's awesome though, man. Like I feel I was a victim of taking it too serious, and I still might be. It's fun to have fun, and
yeah, exactly.
I think especially doing it for as long as you guys did, it's almost like a survival tactic to like what else are you gonna do? Like,
yeah, exactly.
I guess you could burn out. When you
and
guys...
that's why I never.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. This is that fucked up delay.
No, I was going to say that's why I never got involved. I never liked getting involved in the business aspect of things. It just got too serious and too whatever. And I just wanted to have fun and and do what we're doing. And the business side always just kind of like the egos and the business. And I always never cared much for that. So I
did you guys
just play.
Always? It was only with Sonic Onion. Did you guys release stuff? Like, was the last one on Sonic or no?
No, that was put out ourselves. Our first cassette, Pop the Hood, we put it out ourselves, and at first, and then you'll have to get a fact checker on all this stuff, but from what I remember, we became friends with a band called Sponge, who later were Smoother.
Okay.
And they were friends with a band called Tristan Psionic, who were putting out this new label called Sonic Onion, blah blah blah, and they were going to put out these cassette tapes, whatever, and we already had our cassette tape for a while, and I'm not exactly sure how they heard about us. Like Tristan might have been through Smoother, I believe. I just remember like sitting down at Hess Village one afternoon with Sandy from Tristan, talking about how he wants to put out a cassette. It's going to be like this fold open color thing, and it's going to be great, And it's like, yeah, man, sure, sounds great. Mm-hmm. And they put it out. They re-released it, and yeah, so Pop the Hood, Auto Body Crusher, and this apparatus was on Sonic Onion, with a few compilations in between here and there. Huh. But to them, and then Small Wheels ourselves.
That whole time you guys were doing stuff, like where was it at its peak? Because I think in the era of Much Music, when you guys were releasing stuff, that did mean something. It means a lot more than it does now. Yeah, where was that?
I don't even know, to be honest. I mean, I would say maybe just before maybe Apparatus came out, possibly. I think like Autobody, because Autobody, we had a few videos from that album that were played on Much Music, Odd and Autobody Crusher, and that was getting a lot of play on Loud and all that stuff. But I think maybe that was the kind of the peak. I think this Apparatus, maybe I don't honestly, I can't remember, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's all blurred.
It's a while ago.
It all happened so fast. Everything happened so fast. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, was there ever a peak? I don't even know. Maybe it was.
It's now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like buy our records. But thinking about when videos and stuff were going out, I remember when I was a kid and Much Loud put our one date in Thunder Bay on like upcoming shows, and it was amazing. I still have it on VHS. What was your reaction to their first video on Much? Was it a reaction?
Oh, for sure. It was amazing. I don't remember who they played before or after us, but I'm sure, yeah, it was for sure an amazing feeling. Especially when they asked us to host. When they asked us to host it, that was that was pretty. Yeah, there was us and Kittens, and they took us down to like a billiards, and yeah, basically we got to pick the videos for that episode, and yeah, that was it. It was just talking jibber jabber between songs and did our thing, and. But that was pretty fun.
I think that was cool. It is though, like because I'm a total outsider and I'm younger than you. To think of those times like the Much, because I was that maybe target audience that was getting into bands through Much or through press, and it was a big deal to see, like, not that we were buddies, but to see any sort of connection to someone that's like big time. It was a really, I don't know.
Oh, for sure.
Do you feel, I guess you guys aren't really doing it like super now, but I feel like it's so much different now. Like videos don't mean much. Even touring is a lot easier to do nowadays, so that kind of waters it down. It's so different now.
Well, I mean, videos now it's all on the web, right? It's all at your fingertips. You can watch anytime you want. Where back in those days, it was like if you wanted to see your favorite Voivod video, you had to write a letter into Much Music, and hopefully they get your letter and you get to see it. Or nowadays it's like just type in search and here you go, here's your video. But all the social media now it's I think it helps. I don't know if it helps as much as it did back then, but maybe. I don't know.
Did you guys book your own tours?
We had help for a bunch of them. I think we did it. We booked our last tour. I think I think Dan booked that one, but we were through a booking agent. I couldn't tell you what they were called, but for the first few tours, we had a booking agent. And
was it?
But we did some pretty decent tours on our first tours through Canada. Was that we played with the Smalls, the one tour. And actually, it's a funny story. When we toured with the Smalls, the tour before that was with Monster Voodoo Machine, and we played a festival in Saskatoon, and it was like an outdoor thing, and there was all kinds of drinking going on and stuff backstage and whatever, and by the band's vans and vehicles and such. And at one point, it was me and the drummer from Monster Voodoo, and we had an empty case of beer, and the cops were coming around like checking vehicles and stuff. So I got a little nervous, so I took my case of beer, and I put it underneath the Smalls van tire, just to hide it, right? Yeah. And I kind of forgot all about it. And, him and I took a little walk, and about maybe an hour goes by. We're walking back to the van, and all you hear is, and the guy drove over the case of beer from Smalls. Anyway, so I was like, "Oh man, somebody put a case of beer with your tires, man. That sucks." And I think it was a drummer, just gave me this look like "fuck you" kind of thing. And anyway, so when we came back from that tour, we got a call at Sonic Onion saying the Smalls want us to go on tour with them.
Oh.
And my first reaction was, "Oh fuck, this is payback for that fucking case of beer." They're gonna slash a tire somewhere in Fort McMurray, Alberta, or something.
Yeah.
But I talked about that actually at the end of the tour, and they said, "Oh yeah, I remember that, but was that you guys?" I was like, "Yeah, that was me. I'm sorry."
At the end, as you're leaving.
Yeah, that's right.
Literally driving away, screaming it.
Yeah. We did some pretty fun tours, but that was a pretty fun one for sure. That band is huge. That band is huge.
Yeah, it's a whole other lifetime ago. And do you have like well, actually thinking about the songs that were on Mob Wheel, just because it was the last kind of thing, were there tracks that didn't make that record?
Yeah, there was like one that because we just re-released it digitally, and we were gonna put that as part of the package of the digital release, whatever. But I think the mix just wasn't right. It wasn't, because it wasn't done. The mix wasn't done the same time as the other songs, and it just kind of didn't really fit, and the vocals were kind of whatever. So, but there was one song called "The Burly Bearded Man," that never made the cut. But and there was a couple other songs we put on a compilation, like a noise compilation that never made the record either. But no, I think it was just one or two that we didn't put out.
With the
songs are all like 20 minutes long anyway, so we couldn't fit any more up songs if we wanted to anyway.
Put that on a comp, like it's one side of the vinyl, or like
exactly.
3 bands on the comp.
That's right, yeah.
How many with the shows that you guys did again and kind of do you feel like momentum's building up to the point to do another album? Like, is it to that point?
Possibly. I don't know. I mean, I'd totally be into it for sure. I know my headspace now compared to 15 years ago is a whole lot different. But I don't know. I think so. I mean, I don't know if you heard. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say anything on this or not, but Biff is actually going to be leaving us. He's moving up to Thunder Bay. I don't know if you've heard that or not.
He did mention that when I saw him. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to be. So we're gonna be kind of a shorter bass player. But Dan and I were talking, and we're definitely gonna get together and start jamming and kind of see what happens. And,
cool.
But I don't know. Kind of guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah. It's kind of like you will literally see what happens. Like it could be a scenario where you put an album together and then a whole bunch of people are interested, or like some people are interested, and like because I'm sure you don't want to press another record yourselves. Maybe you guys do, but that seems like they're just kids and mortgage and shit.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like I said, like my headspace now is a lot different than it was 15 years ago, and I mean, I still love music. I still love playing music. It's just, I also, as much as it sounds stupid, I love changing diapers and,
I get it, man. I get it.
Playing with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, as far as touring goes, I don't know if I'd ever do that again. I mean, unless it was, something worthwhile. But it'd be tough.
How was those Ken Mode stuff you guys did? I don't know if I think I kind of spoke to you about it, but it was 3-4 shows.
It was 3 shows. Yeah, that was great actually. It was a heavy metal weekend. We just pretty much just hopped on a plane in Winnipeg in Hamilton, flew to Winnipeg, and we drove from Winnipeg to Saskatoon, I think it was, to Calgary, and that was it. Flew home from Calgary the next day, and yeah, it was Sammy Hagar weekend.
And it was. Were you surprised with the reaction to like, oh, Shallow's coming out this way, or did it like kind of meet your expectations? Like, yeah, it's kind of like what it was.
Yeah, kind of 50-50. I mean, I was kind of expecting a few people, like maybe a handful, to be like, hey, I remember you guys, but there was a lot more. I mean, Winnipeg was a really good show. A lot of people from Winnipeg came to the show. People I don't even remember, but I guess we had a pass back in the day, so I had to play that whole game. Like, oh man, good to see you. Fucking right.
Yeah,
I have no idea who you are, but no, it was great. It was really good. Would I do that again? I'd do that again. It was fun. I mean,
I kind of
Weekend Warrior gig.
Yeah, I think that's almost the way to kind of go. Like Sabs, we're planning to go out west, but like start the tour in Winnipeg and share gear. Same thing you guys did. Like not with Ken, but like we're planning to do it with this band. Like, well, do you know Adeline? It's Scott's band. Scott's the bass player from Ken Mode. It's his band.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
But that's like, I think for people who are just older, that's kind of the way to go. Like share gear, fly-ins. We might lose some money, but as long as I'm not losing crazy money, I'd totally be into that, man. Me and Mark did 2 weeks earlier this year, and that was good, but no longer than that, I don't think.
Yeah. I'm not really down with the whole sharing gear idea. I mean, especially for drums. I mean, I know you've always been gracious and let me use your drums. But if I'm doing a whole tour, I mean, it's kind of, I felt bad. Like, I mean, I was like, I'm kicking the shit out of your kit, and I'd rather be kicking the shit out of my own kit, to be honest. But I mean, it's a little harder to get to Winnipeg from Hamilton on an airplane. But
yeah,
it's nice though. I mean, I appreciate it for sure.
Hey, do you have a record that like means the most to you? Be it because it was the hardest to get out, or because like, is there one that you kind of like hold closer to your heart than the other ones?
I think This Apparatus.
Yeah, why?
That one there, because it was done really quick, and I just remember like it was very like polished. The way we did it was very like, I don't know, it just seemed like it happened pretty quick and pretty simple, and was just in and out, and it just came out really well. That's my favorite record anyway. Everything we were doing. I like Mob Wheel too, just because of the energy and the feel of that record. But I always liked This Apparatus just because just how it was done, and how I think the songs are better. I think on that one for me anyway, with myself. But,
Shawnee mentioned this to me, and I kind of remember the answer. But what is on the cover of Mob Wheel? It's like I always saw it as like a doorknob, and then some weird zombies.
No, it's actually a lampshade. From Dan's house, and Jay from 50 Watt Head actually drew those zombies on the front there.
So they're they look like zombies. They have like weird fins for hands or something.
Yeah. Well, the idea is that's actually the name Mob Wheel comes from a pizza joint, and that was the name of a pizza they had at this pizza place, the Mob Wheel. And the guy's hands are actually like slices of pizza, really. Look at it. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but that's how I always took it anyway.
I love
But
it.
that's where the name came from. It was a pizza name at some pizza joint, the Mob Wheel Pizza.
That's so funny, man. Like
So,
bands, I think, who try to be crazy heavy and crazy gnarly and like crazy imagery, like they won't be able to touch the Mob Wheel album with Pizza Hand Zombies, you know? Like, so that's so funny to me. when
again, get your fact checker because I could be completely off the rocker. I could be completely wrong on that one, but that's how I saw it anyway.
I think that's kind of what Shawnee was saying.
Yeah.
I'm curious to like when you just. I ask everyone this, like when did you start? Like when did you get your first kit? How'd you get it? Like when you were a kid, how'd you start?
Well, I've always wanted to play drums. That's for sure. I remember being in grade school and elementary school and like just tapping the shit at my desk. That was probably like grade 4 or 5. Always wanted. I never had a drum kit. Always wanted a drum kit. I remember the teachers would call my parents at home and give them shit because I would disrupt the class all the time from tapping on my desk all the time. So at one point, I think one of the classes, I think I was grade 7 or something. My teacher finally said, "Okay, we're going to give you 5 minutes every day. You can play for the whole class. Do your little, tap tap 2 on the desk." And but anyways, I didn't get my first kit until I was probably 14, 15. And that's the kit I have now, that black
Holy
Tama kit that I
shit!
have.
Really?
Same kit, yeah. Same kit.
Wow.
But yeah, it was actually I bought it off a guy, friend of my brother's, who was a big Lars Ulrich fan, and that was a Tampa Superstar kit. That's what he had. That's what Lars Ulrich plays. So, and yeah, I bought it off him for like $500, and yeah, I still have it now. It's the same kit.
Wow, man, that's crazy. Same kit, $500.
Same kit.
Did you play that on all the records?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was but yeah, so I just had this kit at my parents' house, and I jam with my brother. My brother played guitar, obviously, and played jam with him in my basement. And he was already playing in a band with Dan and Biff, and they had another drummer at the time. And so I would sit in my room. I could hear them in the other room jamming. I'd be like, "Oh fuck, I want to play," And I remember one time they were playing the Faith No More song, "Surprise You're Dead."
Okay.
And here I am in my room. I love that record. That record, to me, that The Real Thing was like the thing for me at that time. And the drummer had a hard time playing the beat. It was like a kind of a galloping beat, like a and he couldn't do it. So my brother, getting frustrated, comes in my room and says, "Come on here and show this guy how to play the beat." I'm like 15, whatever, 14, 15. This guy's like, I don't know, 18, 19. So I go out there. I'm like, "Oh, just go like this, and this is how it goes," and whatever. And I guess he couldn't get it, and so it was not soon after that, or not too long after that, actually, that they asked me to play, and yeah, I was my first band was with Dan and Biff and my brother.
Wow.
I played my first gig in Hamilton at a bar called Bannisters. You familiar with Mills Hardware? That bar?
No.
Okay, it used to be in that location there. It was called Bannisters, and it was like a rock club on the main floor, and in the basement was a strip club.
Okay.
And so it was my first gig. I'm 15 years old, walking into this bar, and there's like girls walking around, and I'm just like, rock and roll. But the show was terrible. It was like maybe 3 people there, but to me it was like a million, right? It was the best thing in my life. So.
Oh man.
I knew right from that moment, because the lights and the monitors and everything, right? Everything's just so huge. And like, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is great.
And is that like what became Shallow then, minus your brother?
Yeah, so it was the 4 of us for a while, and then we were doing like thrash covers, like Megadeth, Metallica, whatever you name it, Sacred Reich. And I don't know. I guess we just kind of wanted to slow it down a bit, get more detuned, heavy, and so we got a singer guy to play with this guy named Bart Saunders, who was in a band called Mortal Annoyance from Burlington. And so he sang with us for a while, and then my brother left the band because he wasn't into it really anymore. And then it just kind of happened by accident. One day, Biff, Dan, and I were jamming without our singer, and we were working on some riffs, whatever, and I just grabbed the mic and started singing. And I think it was Dan or Biff who said, maybe you should sing. And I was kind of like, well, I'm no Phil Collins, man. Like, but
the big
whatever, I'll give it
mic.
a go. Yeah, exactly. So I was a little nervous at first, but so we wrote a bunch of songs, and then And then we just said, yeah, let's do it. So we stayed. That's when the 3-piece started. That was probably 90. Oh gosh, 93 maybe.
Fuck.
I think.
Yeah, I was 10. I was
Yeah.
10 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
In the kind of prepping for this, I found there's a band I think called Hey Clown, and you did vocals on their shit. Did you do a lot of guest vocals over the years, or not really?
I did something on a Chore record, on their first record.
Oh, did you? Shit.
Yeah. What's that record called now?
Take My Mask?
Christ.
No.
No, it was before that one. It was their very first CD.
I don't know it.
I want to say another Plebeian, but I don't know if that's right
maybe.
or not. But
Yeah. Okay. So you
yeah,
did vocals.
there was a song on that one. Yeah, I did something for Hey Clown. I did something for a band called Shallow Water Blackout, which was a band that Matt Barrasso was in a long time ago. A bunch of other dudes, and I think that's it really. I played drums for an Otis record.
Oh, okay.
I did the drums. Yeah, they didn't have a drummer at the time, and they asked me to come in and just play drums for this one record there, so I did that. But
Was there?
that's it. I think really.
Was there? I think Pearson was telling. Maybe that was the band, but or maybe not. There was some punk band that you played the drums on. Was that the band? Pearson.
Oh no.
Pearson
No.
told us the story of just like a band that needed a good drummer, and they had to call you in.
Yeah, well, because I live right down the street from the studio, right? So he just kind of called me and said, "Yeah, there's these kids here. They got this song. They need a good drummer to play this song." So I went down there and just like Green Day'd the shit out of it and called it a day.
That's awesome. They don't know. Like, to me, it, it's like, oh, you got Tony to play on your record, and I wonder if those kids are like, who's this old guy, like on our record?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
That's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, they knew what it was.
There's
Yeah,
like
so
I don't know. There's
kinda-
a few other things I kind of wanted to talk about, but
Mhm.
I wish I was there because I hate this fucking Facebook stuff. But I can't drive around, and
Oh, no worries.
it's like I don't know. I should probably do that. I might like broaden my stuff. Actually, there is a few more things, and I read Palmerson from Sean. Is that his name? Sean Palmerson.
Mm-hmm.
And he went down to South by with you guys, and you saw, I think, the first Queens show. No, was it Queens? There was some Josh Homme.
Yeah, you know
And-
what? I didn't go to that show. Those guys all went. I don't know what the hell I was doing. I think I stayed home and ate peanut butter or something. I did.
Ooh,
But yeah, they all went to that gig somewhere that night. Yeah, who the hell was it now? Good question. It could have been Queens.
I think it was Queens. I think it was the first
yeah.
Queens thing. How many times did you guys do South by? Just that one time or no?
No, we did it 4 times, I think. 3 or 4 times. The last one was the best one. That was actually the one we did with Jamil, the last tour we did.
Oh, cool.
And it was cool because we were picked as one of the picks for that day,
Oh,
the
nice.
festival.
Wow.
And so it was kind of it was a Sonic Onion showcase. It was kind of neat. The show was good. The people were there, and it just seemed kind of funny that people kind of just showed up when we started playing. So I don't know if it's because of that review or whatever it was, but
Huh.
because it's all time slot and all this shit, right? But it was neat. It was a really cool show, and probably the best show of that tour we did anyway. But but the first show we did, the first show we played at South by Southwest, it was horrible. It was like to nobody
Yeah.
in the room at all.
Was
I
it-
think actually Steve Van Zandt was there
Oh, really?
for like half a song. Yeah, for like half a song.
Did you
He
guys
fucked
just
off.
do a one-off drive down thing for that, or was it around a tour?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, well, the very first time we went down there, it was our first time actually playing in the States too, I think. But so we had all the papers set aside because the whole deal was you could either get paid to play the show or you get like free passes to see the other bands, and you don't get paid. And we opted for the free passes, so we weren't getting paid for the show. So we thought there shouldn't be no problem at the border. So, anyways, we drive to Detroit border, Windsor border. And I'm an American citizen, so for me, it's not a big deal.
Oh, I didn't
I
know
can
that.
cross over. Yeah, but the other guy's obviously Canadian. But anyway, so we get to the border, and the guy's like, where are you going? Yada yada. And we're like, oh, we're going to South by Southwest. We're being truthful, we're going to play this show. And we told him the deal that we're not getting paid. It's free passes to see the the other shows, whatever. And so we show him the paperwork, and he tells us to go inside. So we go inside. We're sitting around, and I think the story was he asked us, okay, so you guys are playing a gig, and we're like, yeah. And he goes, okay, well, is there going to be a cover charge for this show? And we're like, well, yeah, we assume so. People have to pay to get in.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, so someone's going to be making money off you guys playing this show.
Hmm.
And we're like, I guess. And said, sorry guys, I can't let you over. So this is like, I don't know what time it was. It was the middle of the night that we drove down there. Of course, 3-hour drive from where we live. So we drove 3 hours back thinking, what the hell are we going to do?
Oh my God.
It's a show. So we went back home. We said, okay, you know what? Let's just go home, take a few hours break, go home, sleep it off, whatever, and go try crossover in Niagara the next day. And so we went to Niagara. I think it was Fort Erie or Niagara, one of the two. But anyway, got to the border. We stopped at duty free, bought a case of beer at duty free, and got to the border. And the guy's like, "Where are you going?" He goes, "Oh, we're going to Myrtle Beach. Spring break." Okay. See you guys later. All right. See you. We got a van full of gear, whatever.
Oh,
We're
fuck.
gonna say they pull us over. It's like, well, we're just gonna jam on the beach, man.
Oh my God, man. That goes to show how like Mickey Mouse the border can be sometimes. I feel even still to this day. Fuck. Oh my God. But still a one-off go down. Now, the other 2 times, was it a one-off as well?
The one time I think with Palmerston was, we didn't play any shows going down or coming back. But the other couple times I think we did it around a tour kind of thing, so it was a little more sensible those times. But the first 2 times we just drove straight down and just drove straight back. And I think it's like, I don't know how long it was, like 30 hours or something, even more. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's bananas.
It was crazy.
Yeah. The shit you do for rock, man. The dumb shit.
That's right. That's right.
What
or
are
a good barbecue.
Yeah. What are your like your kids? Do they? I guess they're still too young to really. What do you think about like being a dad and when they see and hear your music? I can't even ask myself that. I can't even really answer it myself. But I think it's kind of cool to have kids that can listen to their dad's records.
Yeah, I know my youngest has no idea what's going on, but my oldest, he's 5. He sees my album pop up on my truck on the screen there, like the picture pops up, and he knows right away it's me. He's like, "Oh, this is Daddy," and he pretends to like it, but I don't think I don't think he likes it, but
he's like all our friends pretending to like it.
I don't want to hurt my dad's feelings or nothing, but
yeah, it's kind of cool. Like my dad wasn't a musician, and I kind of make it like a cool fantasy to like find his old records and like, oh wow, Dad was like. It'd be funny though. My dad's like a Latino guy, so it'd be pretty funny to find like some like pictures of him in like black metal paint, like some like Costa Rican dude like in a thrash metal band.
Nice.
That'd be awesome. Well, listen, man, I won't keep you too much longer. I think that's everything I kind of wanted to ask. There's a few other things, but I was gonna ask about videos and like what they were like to shoot, but that's sure it was just like every other.
They were, straightforward. Auto Body. I think Auto Body and Odd were filmed back to back, like one day and the next day kind of thing. And then we only had a few videos, I think.
Yeah,
we had one video that was a video fact that we got a video fact for.
Remember which one?
Is pretty much set. It was a song called 6 Foot Foam Skull. It was off of Auto Body Crusher. I haven't seen that video in years.
Man,
if anybody has it, I would love to see it. But it was like shot in like an old Kodak factory in Toronto somewhere, and I don't know. It was weird. The guy had us like acting in it and doing all this stupid stuff, and it was strange. Like the whole deal, catering and makeup and
holy shit, eh?
Whoa. Yeah, it was pretty hardcore, yeah. Huh. But
no, I think that's really everything though. That is pretty much it. I just think I don't know. It's cool to kind of be buds with you guys. You guys made cool stuff, and it's like I can listen to the record and like get excited to like be a guy making heavy music because it's that's a direction, right? To like kind of achieve that record. Like everything you guys did was super great, and it's like scratches my itch of like kind of like drag your knuckle, crush you, kind of shit. It's and I hope to do that with other people too, right? With my music, I think that's a really cool goal, is to like inspire your buddies. I think that's kind of a nice payback for doing this.
You guys got a pretty crazy gig coming up. Was it Sunday?
It's on July the 28th, so not this month, but next month. But yeah, that's gonna be terrifying.
July. I thought it was June for some reason. Yeah, shit. Okay, July.
Close enough, but yeah, that's gonna be super scary.
Yeah, man.
You ever play like a massive like thing like that? Like some overblown weird big gig?
No, we played Edge Fest one year.
Oh, did you?
Long time ago.
What year?
Yeah, it was at. Oh God, it was like a side stage thing. It was what's that place called? It's called now Budweiser Stage in Toronto. There.
Okay.
God, what year is it? I can't remember now.
Edge Fest. I haven't heard that in so long. Is that still a thing? I don't
Yeah,
think so.
I think Sloan played and Thrush Hermit and I think I think it was Thrush Hermit who did all Steve Miller covers.
Whoa.
It was some band. Yeah, I want to say it was Thrush Hermit. Maybe it wasn't them, but anyways, yeah, it was a bunch of bands like that. And of course, we were like the black sheep heavy metal band playing on the side stage.
I remember I went to Edge Fest '98 and I saw Finger 11 when they were on like the small stage, and it was it was pretty awesome.
Were they Finger 11 or Rainbow Butt Monkeys?
They were Finger 11, yeah. I had that Rainbow Butt Monkeys record though. I used to get stoked for hockey putting that on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to play a lot of shows with those guys way back in the day. When they were
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Are they still
back in Burlington?
I think they're still a thing. Like still like.
Yeah, I think so. I saw some things recently somewhere. They're still playing. They were playing with My Mother Earth, I think. On tour with them.
There's this tour that just came through Toronto, but it's called like Back to the 90s. It's like Naughty by Nature, Salt and Pepper, New Kids on the Block. And
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I feel like there's like circuits like that where like it could be like the Big Shiny Tunes tour, right? Like Limb Lifter and like shit like that, whatever. I Mother Earth. But hey, man, we missed it, buddy.
Cool.
We missed our chance.
Cool.
Listen, man. I do at the hip scene, which is I just play a track. Is there anything you would want me to play? Like a lot of people listening are our friends, so this is just kind of like a conversation with our buddies. But I don't know. Like I was gonna pick a track, but you could pick something. Kind of putting you on the spot, but I don't know.
Something we've done.
Yeah.
Let's see. You put me on the spot here. How about Waking the Herd?
Okay, let's do that one. I'll put in Waking the Herd right fucking here, and I'll edit it. There it is. That was that. But yeah, people can buy the record on at Shallow, or the digital at shallownorthdakota.bandcamp. And then physical, how do they, like, is it just at shows or?
If there's any left, I have no idea. There might be a couple left. There was a limited edition thing, so I don't know what's exactly left. But yeah, if you're lucky, you might get one.
Yeah. Go to
Bring
Discogs.
cash. Maybe.
Maybe.
I have no idea. Kill someone.
Well, man, that's I appreciate you taking the time, buddy. Like, I like being able to have a conversation like this and not at a show where it's just terrible to try to have a conversation. And it's
Yeah, for sure.
It's the worst.
For
man.
sure, yeah, for sure.
And I don't know when I'll see you
for
next. Like, I don't know.
You guys playing anytime around here anytime soon?
No, I don't think so.
I'm usually on daddy duties anyway, so it's hard for me to get out nowadays. But
Yeah. Well, we'll run into each other, man. And this will go up on Monday, so I'll just tag you so you know.
Okay.
So you can tell.
Okay, perfect.
Tell all your Sonic Onion friends. Sign my podcast.
I didn't talk shit about them, did I?
I don't think so.
I don't think I did.
If you did, I'll edit it out. Those guys were fucking awesome. They made me so happy. All right, cool, man. Well, listen, thank you, Tony, man. Have a good night, and I'll just see you when I see you, buddy.
Okay, take care, man.
Okay, peace, man.
Bye. Peace.
Bye. What a guy, man. Fuck. If you haven't seen them, hopefully you can see them at some point. But yeah, just a real gem of the underground Canadian noise rock worldwide scene, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. These are fun to do, and I hope you tune in next week. I'll always have a new guest. Make sure you guys subscribe to the show. YouTube, if you can subscribe there, that'd be great. It's just a quick click, and you can subscribe to the channel. The Instagram is Take Her Wide Podcast, and I'm posting old episodes and current guests, pertinent information. And homepage is takerwide.com. Facebook page, if you can like it. I think a lot of you have, but if you haven't, and just spread the word about the show. This is completely grassroots. I don't pay for like ads for the show myself anywhere. And yeah, just hopefully you guys keep tuning in. Hopefully I'm doing a good job. Like, I'm open to critique, man. So let me know if let me know. I don't know. The version you're hearing now is my best version, but I'm 100% open to hear how the show can be improved. Thoughts, just email me at steve@takerwide.com and I will see it there, or just text me. So let me bang out these sponsors really quick. So we have Brewed Biscuits, the all-natural spent grain pet treats. They're really good. They have the 3 flavors. Your dog should love them. My dog loves them. twospentgrains.ca, TWO. Heartbeathotsauce.com. Try it. Trust me, it's delicious. Heartbeathotsauce.com for your delicious hot sauce. Kevin Rigo of Hefner Toyota, 3121 King Street East in Kitchener. Find him on Facebook. Mention the show. Get special pricing on new vehicles. Just an honest car salesman that you can trust. DapperBeardOil.com for the beard oil. Use promo code TakerWide. Free ship. Save on shipping. IroncladGraphics.com. That's where you can get your silk screening needs, your merch, basically any merch. Pins, enamel, pins, stickers, patches. And WellingtonBrewery.ca. I have merch. If you guys want to support the show that way, just takerwide.com. Click on merch. It'll take you to the merch page. The shirts, I got the pins, I got the patches. And I think that is all. I always appreciate you guys listening. Hope I'm doing a good job. I want this to be good. And it's fun. And talking to someone like Tony gets me stoked to be doing this type of stuff. And yeah, I don't know. Now I'm just ranting. So have a good week. Get some sleep. Give me a shout if you guys want to call me anytime. And that's it, man. Love you guys. Goodbye.